In today's video, we dive deep into the latest buzz surrounding the Golden State Warriors, specifically the ongoing trade chatter involving rising forward Jonathan Kuminga. As the team faces one of its most uncertain stretches in recent years, rumors continue to swirl around which direction the franchise will take next. And at the heart of those discussions, a 22-year-old athletic marvel who has rapidly become one of the most intriguing young players in the Western Conference. Warriors trade rumors: Jonathan Kuminga still coveted by division rivals, but without previously included draft capital. That's the headline that has sent Warriors fans into full debate mode. And today, we're breaking down what this really means, why rival teams remain so interested, and what Golden State's next move could look like. Opening breakdown: why Kuminga keeps coming up. Let's start with the obvious. Jonathan Kuminga is the kind of young talent almost every NBA team wants. He's athletic, he's improving by the month, and has shown flashes of being a legitimate two-way force who could anchor a team's future. His ability to defend multiple positions, attack the rim, and bring energy to the floor makes him one of Golden State's most valuable assets. But here's where things get interesting. Even though he's one of their brightest up-and-coming pieces, Kuminga's name continues to pop up in trade conversations, often sparked by rival Western Conference teams who believe the Warriors may be approaching a crossroads. According to new reports, division rivals are still very much interested in prying Kuminga away. However, unlike earlier talks where opposing teams were willing to offer a mix of players and draft capital, that's no longer the case. The updated rumor suggests teams are still calling about Kuminga, but the previously included draft picks, those are now off the table. Why the draft capital disappeared? This shift is one of the most fascinating parts of the story. Earlier in the season, when the Warriors were hovering around .500 and struggling to create consistency, other teams sensed an opportunity. They were willing to attach draft picks to deals that involved taking on some of the Warriors' veteran contracts or making a larger multi-team move. But now, teams are trying to see whether Golden State's sense of urgency has increased, and they're testing to see if they can acquire Kuminga without giving up premium draft assets. This could mean a few things. Teams believe the Warriors are more desperate now than before. Golden State's playoff outlook has been shaky, and division rivals may feel the team might consider a shake-up. Teams simply don't want to overpay for a player who hasn't fully broken out yet. They want the upside, but not at a steep cost. The market has cooled slightly because many teams are hoarding picks for the upcoming off-season. With future star players potentially becoming available, front offices want to keep their draft capital flexible. Regardless of the reason, what's clear is that rival teams remain highly interested in Kuminga, but they're not offering the same level of compensation they once did. Where the Warriors stand internally. Inside the Warriors organization, the tone around Kuminga has shifted over the past year. Early on, he was viewed as a talented but raw talent who needed time. But this season has rewritten the narrative. His scoring, defensive discipline, and assertiveness have taken noticeable leaps. He has become one of the team's most impactful players, especially during stretches where the veterans have struggled. This is important because Golden State is in a strange place, balancing their Steph Curry timeline while trying not to give away their best young talent too soon. And Kuminga is the best young talent they have. Here's what people inside the league believe. The Warriors are far less likely to trade Kuminga now than they were at the start of the season. He is viewed as part of the team's future core alongside Brandin Podziemski. Any trade involving Kuminga would have to return a high-level all-star, something division rivals almost certainly aren't offering, especially without draft sweeteners. So while teams continue to call, Golden State's current mindset seems to be leaning toward development rather than desperation. Which division rivals are calling? While specific names aren't officially confirmed, league insiders point to several likely candidates. The Sacramento Kings, who have been monitoring two-way wings for months. The Phoenix Suns, who have been aggressive in exploring mid-season upgrades. The LA Clippers and Lakers, both seeking young talent but limited in draft assets. These teams have history with Golden State, and acquiring Kuminga would both strengthen their roster and weaken a division rival. So there's competitive incentive on both ends. But again, the big sticking point is that none of them want to put draft picks back on the table. Why the Warriors aren't budging? Golden State understands something very important. Kuminga is still under team control, still improving, and still has tremendous upside. Keeping him allows the Warriors to remain competitive now while building for a post-Steph era. Trading him for anything less than a star, especially without draft picks, would be a massive gamble. The franchise also remembers how past decisions played out. Letting young talent walk or trading them too early has occasionally backfired. The Warriors don't want to repeat mistakes like giving up on James Wiseman too soon or watching Jordan Poole thrive elsewhere. This time, they want patience to pay off. What this means moving forward. So what should fans expect next? Kuminga will continue to be in trade rumors, because his value is high and other teams are persistent. The Warriors are unlikely to trade him unless the offer is huge. And without draft capital included, these new offers aren't even close. Golden State may still explore trades, but involving veterans or rotation-level players, not their rising star. The pressure of the playoff race will dictate how the front office acts. If the Warriors spiral, things could change. If they stabilize, Kuminga becomes even more untouchable. Final thoughts. Jonathan Kuminga's name floating around the NBA rumor mill isn't new, but the latest development is surprising. Division rivals still want him badly, but they're no longer willing to attach the draft capital they once offered. And that makes things a lot more interesting. Because if those draft picks aren't included, the Warriors' answer becomes simple. No deal. As long as Kuminga continues trending upward, as long as Golden State sees him as a future cornerstone, and as long as opposing teams refuse to sweeten their offers, this saga will likely end with Kuminga staying exactly where he is, wearing a Warriors jersey.